All right, guys, we are back here for our second afternoon edition of LOLz. We kind of mentioned it a few weeks back. We were going to start messing around with this afternoon time slot. Brian, I am fresh off of a week off. Did I notice you fired up a solo stream last week?
I did. I did a quick solo stream last week.
How did it go?
I started on mute.
Yeah. How long did it take you to realize?
Too long. And I was like ripping on you on mute. Like, I don't need a host,
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my God, I'm muted. I guess you do need a host.
There you go. Trip? It was great. It was great. Almost too good, where I was like, just picturing like, what if I just stopped doing everything and just moved to Hawaii and just lived on the beach? So it was very good. I pretty much fully unplugged and definitely feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. So yeah, it was really good.
Awesome. I've never been to Hawaii, but yeah, I'm sure that's fun.
Yeah, it was a good mix of like, one day we'd go for a hike or drive around and see stuff. The next day, just kind of lay at the beach or at the pool. And so I kind of like those trips that are a mix of, seeing somewhere, but also getting to relax a bit.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun. I hear like the only thing about like moving there is you can get like an island fever type of thing going on. But other than that, how can you complain?
Yeah, no, I was talking to some of the people there. We were on Maui. And I'll also mention to anyone tuning in right now, we are going to talk GTO bracket strategy. Brian and I have been putting together some stuff and we'll fill out a bracket. So I promise we will get to that here in a sec. But yeah, like on Maui, if you're not in, the hospitality industry or kind of have your own business there, like there's no industry really. So it's basically like tourism, retired people and then people working in hospitality. So that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, the only way to really live here is Oprah style, and you just buy an incredible place and then get to chill. But it's a pretty good place to visit for sure.
Yeah.
What did you get up to talking about on the stream last week? I saw everyone was talking about the Sal stuff, the Sal tweet.
Oh, right. Yeah. I honestly just ripped through comment after comment, like just commenting on whatever their comments were. So
yeah.
And this didn't really have any, but yeah, first everyone wanted to talk about Sal, obviously. And then there wasn't much going on. Sal, and then, and I wanted to talk about Illinois sports betting and poker legislation possibly coming through. So I talked about that for a second.
What was everyone's big? I logged on, I saw the tweet, and I saw that it was causing a bit of a commotion, but what ended up being like the consensus take that people were having?
I don't think there was a consensus. It was real. It felt like two camps, like the YouTube DFS bro camp, and everyone else.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I mean, my Snap take on it was just the wording of it. I think probably threw people off in saying buy YouTube. But otherwise, I certainly believe that he had a massive year. But I think it was just the way it was worded. And anyone who has a YouTube channel and could go check their analytics on how much they make would be like, what? So to me, I didn't see much of an issue there other than how it was worded, which I guess could be an issue.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what I said. And then there's always this too with good content creators, which he is, right? Yeah, even if you don't like him, you have to admit he does tons of content, has tons of followers, people like him. Was it a like a rage inducing tweet, like on purpose? What I'm sure there's a term for this, Pete. You would know better than me. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say there is, and I've seen more people talk this out about we are in a new era of engagement farming tweets, and one of the recipes I've noticed is to have, it's not even just a hot take. Like hot takes will do well. Like you say, Drew Lock will be the QB1 next year or whatever. But it's like, it's if you have it's slightly off, like it's directionally accurate, but there's just something that people can point out to. It's like the more specific way of like pointing out a typo. Like, oh, I understood what you said, but I just want to say you had a typo in there. And it's like that same thing, but just with your messaging. It's slightly off, just slightly off. And that is the key ingredient to a viral tweet.
Yeah, that's engagement farming, something like that. And it's hard to tell a lot of times. Sometimes it's obvious to tell, but sometimes it's hard to tell. And I think a lot of the woke stuff too, that people do that. And it's like, I think that guy doesn't actually mean any of this stuff. It's like, if you could do 2 + 2 = 4.001 somehow,
Yes,
like metaphorically speaking,
exactly.
it's like, no, it's like dead on, but everyone's like, it's 4, man. It's fucking 4.
Right.
And then there'll be a bunch of people like, dude, he meant 4.
And that is the thing, because there's nothing people like more than to tell you you're wrong, but it's also, it feels almost less combative. It's like, it is, as DJ says here, the well, actually, it's like, yeah, you're right. But just to let you know, let me punch up this tweet a little bit. It's like when you have a good joke tweet and then everyone comes in and they try to add their own joke to it. And sometimes those are good jokes, but it's like, but sometimes they're just punching up your tweet. If you give people an excuse to punch up your tweet, oh my God, they will take it.
Yeah, that well actually reminded me of something, but it already slipped my mind. Oh, yeah, there's a law for it. I want to say it's Cunningham's law, but it's not. But it's like, if you want to get the right answer to a question, post the wrong one online. It's like something like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you just post, I don't know what 2 + 2 equals. Just post 2 + 2 = whatever, and they will tell you. It's kind of like along those lines too.
And whereas, like, for me, and I've talked about how I hate engagement farming, like, to me, the perfect tweet is one that has only retweets and likes, where there's just like no additional commentary. It's kind of like Norm Macdonald once said, the best joke is where the setup and punchline are the same. It's like, you just want it to stay alone. I don't want to have to go look at my mentions whatsoever. Just give me the little dopamine of that, and I do not give a shit about what you say back.
Yeah, that's true. But I will see in some of these like quasi engagement farming tweets, like, you're just trying to get comments. You know, like, not you, but like whoever. It's like, oh man, like you have like 70 comments. You're ratioing yourself on purpose.
And I guess it's, to me, is like, to what end? Like, if people have noticed on YouTube, if you comment on a video and you're not just a complete asshole, I will reply every single time, because it helps the algorithm. It helps the video get seen by more people. There's like, that's beneficial to the channel. I guess people could say they're getting more followers when they get all of these replies, but still, there's like no direct way to monetize that on Twitter. I'm always kind of wondering to what end. Like, I could go put on Twitter right now, what should I have for dinner tonight, and get 45 responses. Right. But like, what am I actually accomplishing? Yes, you are getting engagement, but to what end? And a lot of this engagement farming just feels so empty. Like, I don't even mind like crowdsourcing stuff that's kind of interesting or useful, but just this blanket engagement farming is so weird to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was thinking about you. Like, we could have like a bet, like a little prop bet. Like, we'll have you say something clearly dumb, and I still think you get like X amount of likes. Like, something that's not funny at all.
Just like a take that is just kind of like a 30%.
How many likes would Pete get on this? And then we all bet.
Well, for a while, and I don't know if I'm still in this territory because I don't tweet quite as much. But I used to have to preface something if I was being serious as like not joking. Like, if I was putting out an actual request or for information, I would have to be like not joking, because people would just assume every single one of my tweets was a joke, which I like being in that lane, but I still think I'm probably in that experiment wouldn't even work. And that they would probably see through it.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see here. Oh, I wanted to ask too. I was just coming back from the gym. I was listening to, did you listen to Haralabob in Spanky's podcast? I did. That was really interesting.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun too, because it was almost like, a peel behind the curtain, obviously, on a lot of topics we've been discussing, all the way down to, did you hear at the very end, Haralabob floating the peer-to-peer sports betting marketplace being kind of like the Valhalla Inn for sports betting?
Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff in that. He said that, and he's a crypto bro too. Obviously, he let up a lot of info I don't think he's ever let up before. Spanky too, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, to me also, it just sounded exhausting. And you can hear why Haralabob, the juice isn't worth the squeeze for him now, where just faking out the books, like messing up the frequency of the bot, bets, all of that stuff, the beards. I felt exhausted just listening
Yeah.
to it all. Obviously, it made sense if he's getting down,
Right.
$500,000 a bet. But for most people, we're having people get limited who are betting $100 props. Like,
Right. I'm surprised he didn't come up with the idea that I've been kind of talking about, like, is some sort of DAO crypto solution to the whole beard multi-accounting problem. For, like, if he's going to give out 25% of his profits to someone's account, there would be countless numbers of accounts, horrible accounts that would love to be on there. And if you could do that in some sort of trustless way, I don't know how you would pull that off, but there's a lot of crypto guys a lot smarter than me. And, like, I think that whole solution is, and then, like, once that something similar to that, like, blows up enough, like, the books will eventually have to do something. Like, either they're gonna have to get rid of the markets, or they're gonna have to bring in someone who knows how to bookmake and start moving the line and stop banning people, or like give some of these guys, 5,000 a bet or 1,000 a bet, so they can use the information, something worth their while, where if you limit them to peanuts, well, then everyone's going to eventually go to this alternative solution. But I feel like, I don't know, I can't think of it, but there's got to be some sort of social network / crypto idea where people can sell their accounts or buy accounts or trade accounts in like a more trustless way, where you're not going to get stiffed by some dude on 2+2 you found. You know what I mean?
Right. Also, it made me think, Anthony Amico had posted this tweet the other day. Did you see this tweet, this quote from Jay Cornegay about the Tom Brady bet?
I glanced over this. Enlighten me.
So it's just the sportsbook whining. Jay Cornegay, who I've actually interviewed before, very nice guy, but comes across pretty petty here. There's no doubt in my mind that they knew he was coming back when they placed those wagers on Thursday, Cornegay said. And these were not casual bettors. They would be categorized as educated bettors. It wasn't a guy with a Tom Brady jersey at the counter. It was a player that we would describe as sharp. With that type of play, in the announcement we heard Sunday that he was unretiring, there was information that was shared prior to his official announcement. There is no doubt in my mind that information leaked sometime in the middle of last week. This is concerning. I don't think I've ever said the NFL really needs to investigate something, but this is something they need to look into and how it got out, because there are many books that took some sizable wagers in the middle of last week. Cornegay said the Super Bowl is on the hook, or the Superbook is on the hook for 6 figures in multiple states if Tampa wins the Super Bowl and continues to go on here. But what is your take on Jay Cornegay whining about people betting lines that he posted?
So what's his position?
His position is that bettors were using inside information to pick off
his job
bad
title.
lines. His job title. I think he's I don't even know what it is. Director of, I could look it up here. Let's see here. Jay Cornegay is the Superbook at Westgate. I think he's the head of bookmaking at the Westgate. I'm not sure what his actual title is.
This is, exhibit A of how these sports books are not private businesses, and we shouldn't be, giving them the credit that like a hot dog stand deserves, right? He's like directly calling for government intervention to save his company money.
I just don't get, like, there's no way to win. They literally want to create every single possible rule. And it's like, okay, you want to do the limit thing. You want to cap limit on, like, some of the Super Bowl silly bets, right? The max you can bet on the Gatorade or whatever will be a certain amount, because they know there can be some inside info on that. Like, why not have that with this? Like, everyone's playing with the same rules. Why are you posting a bad line and then complaining about it?
It's crazy. That's, if we could figure out a social network / crypto solution, man, we could just hammer them. Just fucking hammer them. That's another thing too. Like, that's almost a better idea than the peer-to-peer, because we use them because they market it and they keep the employees running, and they run the whole business for us. Yeah. And then we have this whole side project. Not everyone's going to be involved in it, but anyone who knows anything about sports betting, you sign up for this thing and either sell your account or buy accounts, or you could even buy into it. It probably could just be some huge fund that you could take part of too. And then there's just nothing he can do.
I knew we should get Andy from Club Top Shot on LOLz sometime, and maybe we could brainstorm with him what some actual like smart contract version of this could look like, and see if he can get the wheels in his big crypto brain rolling on that.
Does he sports bet at all or poker or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I even saw him reply to the Haralabob tweet about that podcast. He was super excited about listening to that, and he played a lot of DFS for a while too, so he's definitely within that framework.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, well, that's our big missing gap here. We could have all the ideas in the world, but you and I are spitting up good smart contracts.
There's much better chance of this guy lobbying his legislature to crack down on your Tom Brady bets, right? Than there is like the other way, going the other way, where they start allowing Spanky and Bob Vulgaris, decent limits, or anyone who bets props or anything like that. It's not in the cards right now.
All right, let's talk some March Madness. I will admit, I came back from my trip. I saw all the bracket contests going. You will appreciate this, Brian. I was like, you know what? My heart's just not in it. I don't know if I want to like spend the time to kind of start doing some research, fill it out. I went to ESPN bracket, and you will love this, Brian. They have an option. Not only can you autofill, have you seen this, Brian? This is your wet dream here.
Wow.
You can do random, and what I did initially, random weighted by seed. I was like, this is Brian's dream for filling out a bracket.
That's beautiful.
So I did do that initially. But then I said, you know what? I started seeing people talk a little bit more about tournament strategy. And then Brian and I started talking on our Discord DMs this morning. And then we went in the lab, and now I'm all in. Now I'm ready to actually build a GTO bracket. But where were you at on thinking about March Madness heading into this week?
I had one free one that was DraftKings did one for like the high tier level guys.
Oh, okay.
It was like 100,000 the first, and I think there's only gonna be like 800 people in it. So I'm like, I gotta fill this one out, and I just went like click, 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 enter, and until we started talking today, like we were gonna do the show. So then I went back and redid it with these spreadsheets that we put together.
Yeah, and so what we put together here was a little bit of a leverage kind of spreadsheet, so to speak, looking at the win percentage in the DraftKings Sportsbook, comparing that to the ESPN pick percentage. And then, Brian, you were also looking at some of the odds to win the region, although it's a little hard to get ownership in pick percentage on that, so to speak, right?
No, it works. It's all on ESPN. So like it's very DFS centric. It looks very much like, any like Osmo's boom bust tool. I don't know if you're going to bring it up, Peter.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up here in a sec.
But yeah, they had ownership. So if you click on the ESPN tool you sent me,
this one here.
Yeah, it's that tab's the correct tab.
Yeah.
And the tab over was the one where I think people might get confused, the people's bracket.
Oh, yeah.
Because the people's bracket has the picks for each one, but they like reshuffle it after each round.
Right.
So like Gonzaga, that 92% of the people are what is that? 95% of the people don't think Gonzaga is going to make the 32. I don't think.
Right.
That's probably a bad example, but my point is they're saying of the people who picked Gonzaga in Memphis, 95% of them took Gonzaga. Right. It's not round 32 specific. It's that
right.
That cohort, but who picked whom is actually just like ownership in DFS.
Right. And so, yeah, who picked whom is definitely the tab here that can help you out.
So there's lots of markets out there. I did DraftKings for the lines because I have an API that I pay for, and it was easy for me. But there's also futures bets, and there's probably futures on all the rounds. But I did Bet Online because Bet Online's pretty sharp, and that doesn't look like it's working for you. But
I had uploaded it as a Google Sheet for easier screen share, but maybe some of that got lost there.
Okay, I could. I still have it, or we could do something.
Actually, I think I can.
You cut and paste will work.
That's what I was gonna do, actually. Yeah. But yeah, keep talking here.
Yeah, so I used Bet Online, and they had the regional odds and to win it all odds, and I'm like, well, that's good enough. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have 32, round of 32, round of 8. And so I took out the hold percentage on those markets because it's pretty high a lot of the time. Although it was only like 20%, which wasn't, to me, is not that much for those type of markets. They're one-way lines, so they're never that accurate. But so I adjusted for VIG and then used those as the winning percent chances, and then took the ESPN ownership and just applied it like it was like ESPN ownership would, like it was DFS ownership, and then subtract the two and you get your leverage.
Okay.
And I could share my Excel if you can't get it to work.
No, I was just kidding. It was just the hold percentage. I just need to manually type in, and that's fixing everything here.
Oh, do they not have aggregate on?
Yeah, I think that was the rub there.
On Google Sheets, yeah.
Yeah, we should be good once I get this in here. Yeah. So then, what we'll be able to do here is kind of walk through and build a bracket. A couple housekeeping things on this. First of all, we are going to post this spreadsheet. If you're listening to the audio version, we'll post this in the Deposit Kingdom Discord in the LOLz channel. I'll pin this. I'm going to make this a Discord exclusive. So not going in the show notes on YouTube, not going in the show notes on iPod or on iTunes. You got to hop in the Discord and you guys can use this to fill out your bracket. Also, we do have a Deposit Kingdom bracket challenge going on, free to enter. I'm going to kick in some gift cards to the winner. Someone has tossed in a hot dog NFT. Maybe we'll get some more prizes, but a link to that is in the announcements of the Deposit Kingdom Discord. The link is down below for that. But Brian, which way, when you built your bracket, then after kind of looking at this, did you go in reverse order, or did you start with the round of 64?
I started with 64, but just for research purposes to like look at every single thing. And
yeah.
But I would probably go the other way if I was just, I think that would be faster and makes more sense. And another thing about this spreadsheet, as long as everything cuts and pastes, if for people who want it, if you don't know how to calculate hold percentage on like futures bets or anything like that, I left it all in there. And you could just copy my stuff and use it for different markets. And if you don't know how to convert odds, American odds to winning percentages, and if you don't know how to adjust for VIG in matches, that's on the DK data tab. So all that stuff's in there. If you've never messed around with that stuff.
Yeah, it is definitely helpful for understanding those numbers and how we arrive at them. As even when you sent over the spreadsheet initially, I was confused by some of them. Let's start in this Arizona, this South regional here, and I've just pulled up a bracket that we can kind of fill this out as the LOLz bracket as we go. But is your first take when you look at this bracket and see the leverage on Houston, are you automatically wanting to put them at least to the Elite Eight or even to the Final Four?
Yeah, I think I did actually. And if you scroll down, the last one at the bottom of this is the odds to win it all, which is you just went past it slightly.
Oh, here we go.
And you see here, Houston has the best leverage to win it all. So you called it.
Okay, so there you have it. Houston with the best, and Kentucky, and looks like this is the is this the pick percentage on them?
That is the odds.
Yeah.
Chance to win, and that is what ESPN has so far selected.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also I think a big question that everyone's going to have, and this is the same for DFS, right? I mean, your contest size is going to greatly impact how much leverage you need.
Contest size, who you're playing against. So if you're in Illinois, right, like Illinois is going to be selected more.
Yeah.
If you're and I would say the strength of opponent. So you'll see in some of these matchups, there is leverage there, but it's like so like on the DK data tab, the first one, let's see here. Okay, a good one's like UConn, New Mexico.
Okay.
Where
I was just gonna sort here by leverage.
You don't want to do that in this one.
Okay.
just yet, because it's all in the order of they're all playing each other there, and that actually might screw that up. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I see what you're saying.
But anyways, yeah, like New Mexico's a 75% favorite. It looks like. Do I have that right? No, UConn, I'm sorry, is a 71% favorite. But New Mexico State has decent leverage on the field.
Yeah.
There are probably still go New Mexico State. There's probably other ones though, where it's like the favorite is so big that except in these like free ESPN ones with 8 million opponents, you know what I mean? Like if you're playing against 50 of your buddies or 10 of your buddies or something like that, you know, if you have like 3% leverage, but it's a 90% favorite, like just like, don't do that. Don't get crazy there. So like this, the skill of the opponent, how many people you're up against, and then just like your regional stuff.
And also too, I mean, I guess this sounds pretty intuitive, but even if you were going to play a UConn, I mean, you almost always want to soft fade them as having them lose in the next round. And in which case, if you're doing that, might as well try to get an extra point up on the field if you don't have them going to the Sweet 16 anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I was going through these, it's like, it really plays itself out pretty easily if you do this.
You're sick. You just solved bracket. This
is guaranteed to win the Warren Buffett Perfect Challenge.
How many? We should print out actual LOLz Skolansky bucks and be like, you built the best possible bracket.
Like that site you built, the Patriots. Great the Patriots. Yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, it's kind of fun too, because I do think in general, people like picking upsets in their brackets. This is actually like, you can pick lots of upsets. You're just now using, you know, quote unquote ownership percentage, pick percentage to make informed picks, where it's like, you can still have the fun picking the upsets and you're actually getting it in good, because so many of these, what I think I heard a stat, but it's like the 6-11 games, like I think almost all of them are within like a less than 5-point spread. Like most of these are coin flips, so to speak.
Yeah, there's a lot of close ones. You can see right where you're highlighted. There's a lot of right around 150s, 150, 130, 115, 180, 120. Yeah, so there's definitely some close ones. And it's not just ownership, right? We have VIG adjusted odds too. So you're taking both of them into account. You could do, I thought about this earlier in the day when you DM me. I had to add that TCU Seton Hall for some reason. It wasn't on DraftKings, but earlier when you DM me, I was like, maybe I could do some, like, I've always kind of wanted to do like a simple sim idea. But I don't know if it's even worth it. Like what I'm going to sim for 8 million opponents or 10. Like it's so different for everybody that I think you could just use these kind of rules of thumb and just go by the chart. And if you play enough brackets over the next 20 years, you'll probably make money.
Yeah. I was, and I think I was hearing Brian Jester. I was listening to their pod, talk about the bracket, and he was talking about just a little rule of thumb to help you figure out your dupes, just multiplying the, pick percentage by the final four. And then I believe is it dividing by the amount of people in your pool? And if that number is less than 1, that should give you like a fair data point on how many people would have your final four or your finish, which I think is like a good rule of thumb too, and help to illustrate, like, if most people are going to be picking a Gonzaga Arizona national championship game, like in 100-person pool, just even not having one of those two guys in the game is already going to make you pretty unique.
Yeah, definitely. And that's exactly what this says too. Like to bury the lead, I guess. Gonzaga and Arizona are the two like most over heavily owned compared to all their odds at every stage. And except the first round, although I think they're both even over owned in the first round. Like it's like a 98% favorite. So like you're not gonna take those upsets very frequently. And most people are playing like what, 150 man, 50 opponents, 100 opponents, right? Wouldn't we say? And you want to figure out how to squeak out like 0.00001 of equity out of ESPN, like go for it. But I think it's best. Like if you using this, you're always taking under own options that make sense. Like I think like you're probably not going to do. Like I think it's going to be pretty low for most normal brackets.
You say that until 19 of us have the same bracket and the Deposit Kingdom 100% challenge.
No, that rule, the don't do me bro rule applies even to this.
Andrew says, is the goal with building the bracket to have the right mix of leverage and adjusted win percentage? I think the goal is to have the right mix of leverage based on your contest size, right?
Contest size is big, but I agree with him. Yeah, adjusted win percentage because like I was just saying, like Gonzaga, I'm pretty sure they're probably over owned on the first tab by like 1% or 2%, like compared. Right. So where is Gonzaga? You see them there anywhere? There they are. They were like 15th or something. 15.
Where did I go? Why?
Oh my God, Gonzaga's actually perfect.
Wow, completely efficient relative to their win percentage.
But anyways, let's say they weren't. Let's say they were 2% owned too much.
Yeah.
Are you in your 50-man field against people who are picking based on the color of the jerseys? Are you going to fade the 97% win or 96% adjusted for VIG win percentage? I wouldn't.
I do think if you're doing the mark from accounting bracket, the picking by color, like the most common thing is picking like the 2 chalk favorites like Gonzaga and Arizona, but then getting like super weird elsewhere,
right?
Which is like the complete opposite of what you want to do. Yeah. You mainly want to play chalk and get contrarian with, within these guys that have the top 10 odds to actually win it all.
And I just did one, but it's like, it's a completely reasonable bracket if you just go by the leverage and then with a few of those adjusted win percentages where you're like, I'm not going to risk this. It's pretty contrarian, but nothing crazy. It works pretty nicely.
Let's go ahead and build this out. Ryan Nelson calling his shot here. San Francisco is a great leverage spot in the first round. I was just pulling it up on our sheet. We have him at 2%. Looks pretty decent there.
Yeah, the first round though they have
round. Yeah,
we have 17% leverage. So first round, San Francisco and Indiana are our 2 best, and Colgate, all 3 at 17% leverage.
So which way do you want to work? If we want to just start building this out,
whatever's more entertaining. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Well, how about we hop around? Like we know we're gonna pick these.
Yeah, do that. Okay, ones.
So we'll do.
So like San Francisco's a no-brainer, right? It's like they're almost 50-50 according to ESPN. And who knows if you can find more accurate ownership percentages, obviously use those. You could pop them right in the spreadsheet and just change and have at it. But that one's a no-brainer. The other 2 17%ers are also no-brainers, I think, right? So the St. Mary's game, Indiana.
Yeah.
And St. Mary's is like a Sweet 16 darling, which I'm assuming why everyone on ESPN's taking them, because the odds aren't justifying that much ownership.
Right. And then our third 17% is Colgate.
Down at the bottom, Colgate, yeah.
Colgate.
I usually bet on Wisconsin. I mean, that one's a bit, you're starting to get pretty contrarian there.
Yeah.
Right, because there's 72% Wisconsin would win. So I think maybe there you're starting to go, how many opponents do I have? Am I in Wisconsin? Am I in the Midwest? Well, then maybe it's going to be higher than 72%.
Are you in a pool with Big Cat from Barstool, who's the biggest? Yeah, there you go.
Then maybe you definitely pull that trigger, but that's probably where you might start getting question mark. But like, I don't know. I'd probably still do it. And then South Dakota State versus Providence. I think that's another no-brainer. You got to take South Dakota State, almost 50-50, and they're 15% too high owned in round 1.
Sorry, who did you say is too high? Creighton or SDSU?
I have South Dakota State against Providence. Did I hopefully?
Sorry, I was looking at SDSU. My bad.
That's San Diego State.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good too, actually.
That's going to break. My wife's alma mater is Providence, and she's very excited about them in the tournament. But I have to let her know that the GTO selection is, in fact, South Dakota State.
I'm sure she will care. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, baby. These free roll brackets, I had to get it in good. Couldn't root for your team. Thank you, Derek. This is a bit that Derek normally does on Splash Play where he sends me $5 tips to say F you to the city of Malden here in Massachusetts. And I'm sure Brian can appreciate saying F you to local cities and governments.
Sure.
Andrew asking kind of more really drilling down. He's in a 15-person tournament. He says, I believe Bale said to just pick every favorite seed when playing a small office pool. Is that still a good idea? My take would be that would be a good idea up until like the Final Four, right? Because your opponents are still going to largely have Arizona Gonzaga championships.
A 10-man field in the office. I doubt they're looking at the odds at all.
Yeah.
So I would probably. And when did Bale say that? Like 2017, or because there is a slight difference. There's a little more information now.
Yeah,
I would do that, but I mean, take a look at the chart and then maybe make small little tweaks. But yeah, so like for example, that Colgate Wisconsin game in an office party,
you don't need to mess with that.
Yeah, you just take the 72% chance favorite. Somebody might have like the Colgate toothpaste or something. Who knows why they're making their decisions?
So are we going to make, I think we have to make Houston the team of LOLz, the team of destiny.
Okay. Which is who I picked already. So that's going to jinx my 100K bracket one.
Oh, get out of here. You can only worry about the jinxes when you're 150 max and got DraftKings, not some fucking free roll that you got.
Houston and I think Houston's like the no-brainer to take us at least to the Final Four.
I love it. What seed are they?
3, I think. I can't remember. 5.
Oh God.
Top right.
Okay. This could be devastating.
They're gonna lose by 20 in the first round.
Oh my God. Hey guys, we got it in good though. Look at this. I'm sending them all the way to the championship game.
So some of our regional gimmies, I think we're gonna have to take based on the spreadsheet. Iowa.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, Iowa 5%. Should we take them to the Final Four?
I don't know if we want to go that far yet, but
okay. I mean, I'm ready.
That's why I like doing it one at a time because it's then we're
I get over aggressive and put Houston in the championship.
Like Gonzaga out in the first round, no big deal.
Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna walk. Can I walk Houston out of the Final Four here? How do you even fucking undo your picks on DraftKings?
Well, once you match up to their opponent, you could just select their opponent eventually. It's
okay. They need some way because now I feel like I inked Houston to the championship in permanent.
Well, they might remain there, so we'll see. Texas in the East Regional.
Hang on, let me first get Iowa. See, this is my problem. This is my first time actually looking at the bracket. I don't know where any of the fucking teams are. All right, here's Iowa. Ooh, so we have Iowa going against San Diego State, which makes sense then if we're bullish. Iowa and South Dakota State is our upset pick anyways.
And then so our odds there would be versus ownership. What bracket is that? I'm not looking at the screen.
Oh, this is the Midwest.
Iowa 5%, and then San Diego State, South Dakota, was it?
South Dakota State.
Yeah, that's an easy Iowa.
Easy Iowa.
Yeah.
And then what do we want to do with Kansas in this bracket? Because we have LSU at 4%.
I think Kansas is a bigger upset, a better upset before the finals than Gonzaga based on our sheet here, because they're so heavily owned compared to their opponents in the Midwest, right? They're the worst Final Four ownership wise on compared to the odds on our sheet. Right. So at some point we're going to want them to be upset by, LSU, Iowa, or Auburn.
Right. I'm down.
San Diego State seems like an obvious pick there. Yeah.
Yeah. San Diego State. And then we'll have KUB, SDSU, and then maybe Iowa over Kansas.
Maybe. Well, let's fill it out first.
Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
These are tough decisions. Oh, so we're just filling out this Midwest then? So then
Yeah, I just got locked in on this.
USC, Miami, Creighton. So let's see if any of those.
Let's see here. Creighton, we have -7. So we have San Diego State at 7%.
Yeah, definitely San Diego State.
Yeah. And I think I already
You already took them.
What about USC Miami? USC Miami's a pick 'em.
Yeah, but we have Miami as a better value in the Final Four, so we might as well just take them, make that the tiebreaker.
Okay. Yep, Miami 2%. That makes sense. And then Auburn, I assume we're gonna take here.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Yeah, and Auburn's not even that bad a value. Like they're almost dead on to their odds and ownership. So,
and then
just missing what? LSU. What was the other one?
Yeah, LSU is.
It's gonna be LSU. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I just was curious what it was looking like relative.
Yeah, where is LSU there?
Why can't I find them? There they are. Yeah, so that's still pretty close. Considering
it's close, but the Final Four ownership, LSU is lower. So compared to their chances.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and put LSU in
there you
here.
Go. See, it all works itself out. It's free money.
This is free money. So we're gonna have LSU beat Colgate. We can't get that crazy.
All right. Yep. I think probably AUB, Auburn against Miami. I mean, you gotta take Auburn.
So now we have our upsets that we have out of this region are obviously no Wisconsin and no Providence.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as looking at the odds here, it looks like we could still make a case to have Auburn go, even if it sacrificed.
I think you could do Auburn, Iowa. Like if I was doing not against a million opponents.
Yeah.
I think you could make Auburn, Iowa.
That's what I was thinking.
Auburn, Iowa here. I mean, Iowa's got an 18% chance of getting out of there, and not a lot of people are taking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's completely reasonable. And then Auburn probably, right?
Yeah. Look at this. We have an Opto Bro versus Hand Builder war brewing around Houston. We have Ryan saying Houston is a top 5 team according to most models. A Schmal here says Houston has beat one team that made the tournament. Is Houston going to divide the LOLz community, Brian?
Well, look at the sheet. Reference the sheet.
Just look at the sheet. That's all you need to see here.
This is how you guys play DFS.
That's right. All right. Let's go back to our Houston bracket where we might have gotten overly aggressive, but I'm not necessarily ready to back down. Round 1 here. Did we have any? We didn't have any huge leverage ones here, did we?
In round, let me see that. Go back to that bracket. I think I have it in my.
Oh, sorry, our bracket.
That one, yeah.
If you're in a bracket with Peter Jennings, I'm seeing some leverage on Michigan. I will just say.
You know what? I can't remember. Let's see. Tennessee. I think Tennessee's the easy pick. Tennessee.
Yes.
Right.
Also, we have John now fading us too. He's taking UAB with the points. Wow. This is tearing apart our community.
So there's no spread in brackets. The Tennessee's a perfect example. So yeah, they're 1% over owned, but they're a 93% favorite to win. So it's just like,
right.
Just take them, unless you're in some crazy tournament.
Let's see this Peter Jennings bowl here for the Colorado State Rammies. Looks like all right. CSU's showing a little leverage. All right, let's pull the trigger on the CSU Rammies.
Yeah, go CSU. I think and then Loyola.
Which team are they?
Loyola Chicago.
Oh, Loyola Chicago. All right.
I think they're in there.
Any boots on the ground hot takes on Loyola Chicago, Brad?
Although I did just see we already picked Colorado State. Never mind.
Yeah. What about Illinois UTC?
I don't remember.
Let's see here. Illinois. Oh, wow. Illinois showing big leverage there.
Yeah, well, they're 73% chance to win. So again, this is another one where it's depending, look at your opponents, look how many.
Yeah, sorry, Chattanooga's showing the leverage.
Right. We'd want Chattanooga, but like I said, Illinois got 73% chance to win. Brian, I mean, I say we go Chattanooga, of course.
Yeah, I mean, trust the spreadsheet. I mean, my God. I actually want to say I might be speaking out of school, but I want to say Illinois might be a little banged up right now. I want to say I heard that.
Yeah, they have some young guy coming back. I heard. I don't know if he's actually back. And so the sheet says Seton Hall. Yeah, and then obviously we're gonna take Arizona unless we want to get squirrely.
Not that squirrely.
Okay.
And I assume we want to take. Well, I assume we want to take Arizona.
Yeah, let's look at that really quick. Well, yeah, Seton Hall is not like that super good leverage anyways. So
right. Illinois, that's interesting though, because we're gonna take them to lose, but they actually show decent leverage relative to winning the regional.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe we should not go with both Houston and Chattanooga as our big bets.
We could switch off Chattanooga. I mean, I know this bracket is super important.
No, what I came here to do was build the most GTO over leveraged bracket.
Well, then Chattanooga.
Okay, we're leaving Chattanooga.
That is tough though with Illinois. So what would Illinois give us if we took Illinois?
That would give us Illinois.
Oh, but then we got Illinois, Houston.
And we're betting Houston anyway. So making Illinois lose here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I always say about highly leveraged GTO brackets. It still has to tell a story. And that story is Houston going to the Final Four, even though John Kelly is also betting Houston not to make the Sweet 16. You're laying 142 to bet against the darling of LOLz, John? God.
This guy wins one major GPP, and he's just betting everything.
Oh, man. Okay, what CSU Tennessee? I mean, I don't think we can do this with CSU over Tennessee.
Yeah, 1%. Yeah, just take Tennessee.
Villanova over your boys, the Pride of Chicago.
I got. Well.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think that. I don't know if that 2% of Loyola is worth it. What do you think?
Probably not.
I mean, it would make it easier for Houston to get by.
You're right. What if our thesis is this is just the bracket or the regional that goes haywire?
Okay.
All right.
That's a story.
This is a fucking story right here. So then we're gonna have Tennessee play Houston.
All right.
And then Houston advances.
Yeah, and Houston and Tennessee have the same chance.
No, and no one can tell us that this is irresponsible or anything. This is what the spreadsheet says, Brian.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
We don't have a problem.
Let's head over to the West Regional with Gonzaga, the heavy faves. We are going to get Gonzaga out of round one.
Yep. BSU Memphis. Let's take a gander there. Who is BSU? Is that Boise State?
That's the problem.
It is Boise State. Boise State's nice leverage there. Good chance to win. We'll take them.
Why can't I find these? This is okay.
Right
here we go. 5%. Boise State. Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. What are we looking at with UConn and New Mexico State? A lot of leverage on New Mexico State.
Pull that trigger.
Give it to me. Give me all that leverage. Arkansas, UVM.
We got more leverage. Vermont.
Wow. I heard Arkansas is a pretty fun, good team too.
You heard wrong.
Okay, this is it. This is the over leverage bracket. Give us UVM. No, can we? Should we do? God, I am just wrestling with my emotions here.
Will you go back if you don't trust the spreadsheet?
What's ESPN giving for a perfect bracket this year?
Nothing.
Here we. Yeah, I just need to make sure that the prizes are commensurate.
Well, that Alabama one we don't have a line on because that's that play-in game.
Okay.
But we do in we do have a line on to make the finals, I think.
Let's see. Odds to win. Yeah. So if we're going to end up fading, the thing we have to think about is who is going to be our horse out of here if we end up fading Gonzaga. Duke sounds like a very scary team to bet on right now. It sounds like they're just kind of falling apart and are probably going to be overplayed by the field because they were overseeded. So we're probably going to need to pick Texas Tech, Arkansas, or UConn, at which case we already just killed Arkansas and UConn. Is Texas Tech our team?
Yes.
Okay. That
clearly.
Thank
clearly.
You.
So Alabama, Texas Tech, Davidson, and Duke is what the sheet says.
Alabama, Texas Tech, Davidson, and Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Davidson. That's probably going to happen.
That Davidson is like a no-brainer compared to ownership because it's a 50-50 bet and they're 10% under-owned. But then after we get past that one, Davidson's like properly owned. And who are they? And then Duke. I mean, based on the sheet, we take Duke over Davidson, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I know, Willis. I listened to one podcast where they said they're incredibly athletic and well coached, and I said that's enough for me. I became a film guy. Texas Tech, Alabama. We already said Texas
Tech, and then we're going with Texas Tech for the upset.
Who do we want? New Mexico State versus.
Let me look. New Mexico State versus who?
UVM.
Vermont.
Yeah,
Vermont, right? Baby.
Vermont. And then we're gonna have Gonzaga beat Boise State,
yeah.
And then Gonzaga beat UVM,
yeah.
And then Texas Tech shocks the world.
That's what we're hoping for. Perfect bracket.
This is an all Texas Final Four that we're headed toward here.
Oh, that's a story.
That's a story. Howdy, partner. Highly leveraged bracket. Everything's bigger in Texas. Our brackets are bigger. Our cojones are bigger, picking upsets. This is the LOLz bracket.
Right. I mean, that means we're going to take Baylor then.
You're right. We are fucking taking Baylor. Oh, baby. Boy, do I like how this is looking. Except, I guess Iowa. I feel like we could just fold Iowa into the Texas.
Baylor, Auburn, Texas Tech, and Houston. Final Four.
UNC Marquette.
Yes, let's look. So like Marquette would be kind of high owned around here. So Marquette is the leverage play.
Marquette.
Mm-hmm.
We already have
UCLA.
Indiana.
Who's UCLA playing there? That looks almost like an Arkansas if you squint.
I know. Are there two Arkansas? UCLA Akron.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to pass up. UCLA at 90% chance to win the game.
Yep. Texas. Oh my God! You're telling me you want me to pick Virginia Tech when the pride of our great state hook 'em
Oh my God! Texas has leverage too. This is just.
You're damn right. Texas has leverage.
They got 4% leverage.
Okay, 4%. I've done worse things with 4%, Brian. Purdue versus Yale.
I don't think you can fade Purdue there. 91%.
Nick, please do not try to bring reason into our all Texas bracket. Sorry, what did you say about Purdue and Yale?
They play better, hurt. Purdue. And then Kentucky.
God, this is a corn-fed bracket. All right, then let's check out our odds to win this regional. Okay, I do not like seeing. Okay, I don't like seeing the 8% on Baylor, but you know what you love to see? 3% on Texas.
Well, you can see like all these stud teams are slightly overowned, right? But like compared to the other studs, Baylor 8 and 7% aren't too bad.
Versus like 16%.
We have Purdue winning, right? I think we're gonna have to have Purdue advance. It looks like they have really good shot of winning, slightly under owned. Texas.
But Purdue plays Texas. That's our rub.
Shit.
I cannot condone that.
Do you think
Brett, look at the leverage. Can you read? Texas 3%, Purdue 2%. That 1%
got over 3.5 times more chance of making it to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're going Texas there. I think we definitely will have UCLA over Indiana, Baylor over Marquette, Kentucky over San Fran.
Yeah.
So then we have Baylor, UCLA, Texas, Kentucky.
Yeah, Baylor, UCLA. I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Right. Means we take Baylor. We break all ties.
Okay.
We're the Lone Star State.
All right, Baylor, Texas. Or do you
I'm okay. Even
all right,
I feel like
yeah,
do Kentucky.
All right.
That I just want you guys to know that I'm just trusting the spreadsheet here. I would never do something as crazy as having an all East regional featuring Texas teams. Okay. So now we need to figure out who's coming out of, we already said it has to be Baylor, right?
Yeah. Might as well. Auburn, Iowa's pretty good. What are the odds here? They're darn close. 23% chance to 18% chance.
Right. What do you think?
And the leverage is pretty good on both, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Auburn tiebreaker, Texas. Wait, Auburn's not in Texas.
They're not.
It's in Georgia?
We're going to fold them into the Union too. All right. So now we have a Baylor, Texas Tech, a Houston, Auburn.
All right. So we go to the winning odds to win. So we got Baylor. Who else? Houston, Texas Tech. These are some pretty long shots.
I mean, basically, this is what we're doing, Brian, though. Like, if you nail the long shot winner in, say, a pool that's like 100 to 1,000, you're going to be in really good shape the way the points are. So we're basically just covering the roulette board on all the Texas-themed long shots.
I don't think there's any way we could lose.
I don't think there is either. But based on the odds, looks like we maybe want an Auburn Baylor, but we already have Houston.
Yeah, Auburn. You really want Houston, don't you?
No, okay. I want Baylor versus Houston, and then God just takes the wheel.
Okay. All right. What's the final score?
Hang on. We got to go to the random number generator.
Well, it's got to be within reason, right? Like, it can't be 7. No, it's got to be like 100 something.
I'm gonna click. Okay, I'm gonna click 1 to 100. Give me a set of numbers that's Baylor winning, and give me a set that's Auburn, like odds and evens.
Why don't we look at the actual Baylor line really quick? Just see. So Baylor, it's 137's over under this one, and Houston's is 136. Okay. So they're both around 136, 137. So how about 120 to 150?
Wait, what?
Random number between 120 and 150.
Okay. And then what?
Just click generate. 135. There you go. Oh wait, that's not the final.
I was trying to figure out.
Okay, now divide that by 2. So that's the total.
Okay, that's the total.
So what do we want there? 70 to 65, something like that?
Yes, but I was saying we haven't even picked. I wanted to pick who is the winner of randomized. Who is the winner between Baylor and Houston?
Oh, okay. Go do it. I'm sorry. I thought you were doing the total.
No, it's all good. I want you. Yeah. You want, say, Baylor is odds, and
okay.
And we'll do Houston as evens. Here we go.
All right.
Houston evens. It was always destined.
70-65. Houston wins by 5.
That's right. As me, Barron says, you can't lose, but we'll be duped by all Texas located viewers. Don't dupe me, bros. Don't Texas me, bros. I mean, this is a beautiful.
People from Texas don't know how to access the internet. I think we're safe.
There we go. Congratulations. Your picks have been saved. we will post this spreadsheet in the LOLz channel in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. You can use it to your heart's extent. I would say maybe show a little bit more restraint than Brian and I picking your leverage spots, but it is a really good tool for helping you figure out how to make these kind of tiebreaker decisions at the very least in the beginning rounds.
Yeah. Especially if you have to do a few at work and you don't necessarily want to or something like that. Go down, do the odds, and then if you have any tiebreakers, just go to leverage.
That's what ESPN, and we were showing, they have randomized, random, weighted by seed. We need a LOLz leverage randomizer option.
Yeah. Like a little score afterwards.
Yeah. Wow. This is big if true. Zach Weber says Peter Jennings allegedly said if CSU wins it all, he's buying everyone a punk. That's a very good Zach, because I did get Peter on Club Top Shot to say, I think it was if the Nuggets made the finals, he said he was going to get us all courtside tickets at an NBA finals game. So I should get him on the hook for a CSU wins the national championship bet here.
Who's everyone? The players or?
It was Club Top Shot. And Andy's a Villanova alum too. So I think I saw someone referencing a Villanova CSU final would be fun. Nick, I'm sorry. We don't have to go Auburn. We went Baylor, Houston, bud. The math doesn't lie. You
definitely don't have to.
There you go. Anything else going on with you these days? Are you liking the third or the afternoon vibes for the show?
Yeah, well, I mean, we really haven't started yet. Let's give it a couple. We'll see how it goes. It's easy on the schedule.
Yeah.
Especially during NBA season. In the off season, NBA season, it doesn't really matter. But during the season, it can get a little crazy. So, yeah. For me, it's a little easier. I know. I mean, after football season, our numbers have gone down a little bit, and I stopped showing on my channel too, just on the Twitch channel, which doesn't have anyone following it. So our numbers have gone down, but who knows? It's only been one show, so who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know if that matters. Let's give it a roll and see what happens.
Yeah, I always feel, because I like being able to have a little, if we were doing this show at 8, I already would be out of here because I would be running over to do ship chasing. And so it's nice to just have a little bit of a breathing room. And specifically for this show, we give people more time to get their leverage bracket in order here.
That's true. Yeah. And it's easier to get the pod up because it does take like an hour or two to migrate after we even get it up. Yeah. So that's cool there too. Yeah.
I'd ask the chat if what time slot they like, but ultimately we're going to make this decision based on what works for us. But hopefully it's not too bad of a change.
I did John's here, actually. I did John's show over the weekend for a little bit, and he wants to do April 9th, LOLz MMA party.
Let's go.
So look at your schedule.
What's that card? Is it a sick card?
I think it's a sick card. Yeah, I think that's why he meant it. And I briefly looked, and I'm pretty sure I'm open. But I'll look again once. We'll see who everyone can do it. But that could be fun times. So we can occasionally have a night. Oh, here's what I was thinking for that. What do you think about this idea? I had this thought on the treadmill. So before I forget it, so let's say it's ESPN Plus. It doesn't matter if it's pay-per-view. You host it, or who's ever hosting the show, right on screen, right? Like you share your screen live. We all can see it. And then somehow we pay someone to get some filter for you, where the audience, it kind of blacks out the audience, but has the time stamp in the bottom right. And so the audience can see what we're watching, like exactly the time, but all of us can react at the same time. So we are all watching your screen live. Because remember, like last time, like I had a 10-second delay, Alex would have a 30-second delay. You know what I mean? Yeah. You'd be on the crack streams, and you'd be a minute behind reading the racist comments, So like, yeah, so we'd all be losing your screen. And so the user it would be like, like a witness protection where you could see something's going on, but you can't really. But the timestamp, the clock's going down. So they could tell the bottom line of ESPN or whatever. Okay, I know exactly where they're at all times. I think that would be a pretty good way to watch it.
That could potentially work. I think that it also depends on like your stream quality, but there is we could just have just a group sync where someone gets paused and we're maybe watching just like on a 2-second delay. And then we say, everyone press play. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, obviously we could do that, but like,
yeah,
it'll never work out. It never works out. Like if just one guy's hosting, we all watch your screen, like it would.
You know what I could do? I could set up maybe a second StreamYard window and then have that in so everyone goes into that. And so we basically have 2 StreamYards, so then you can see that. And then I could maybe figure out a crop to show the time on it or something.
There you go. That would work. I feel like something along the lines of the witness protection thing would give people like some interest, like what the hell's going on there? You know what I mean? To like, oh, maybe I should turn this on, or like maybe they don't care that much, but they like can see like these blobs go down or something. You know, like
it would be really kind of fun to mess with just like quick screen share to see how quickly, like how good are the YouTube filters? Like if you just did like a split-second screen share so people could see the time and then took it back off. Like, are there sensors grabbing that and patrolling that?
What is legal? Like, what about 5 seconds every 10 minutes or something? You know what I mean? Like, just have that go. And then you put this timer on there where it shows it occasionally. That would be cool.
That actually might make sense because in the same way, like with music copyright and stuff, like you can play like 10 seconds of stuff generally, and you're in the clear. So maybe we could push that a little. 5 second screen share.
We could push it, and then when they block us, we tweet out, Dana White is anti-freedom.
Yeah, exactly. This is we will take down Dana White one screen share at a time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on this Wednesday afternoon edition of LOLz. Like I said, we're going to post the spreadsheet with all of the GTO leverage in the LOLz channel in the Discord. I'll pin it in there so you can come and find it. We will get this audio uploaded. I need to go check out your stream, your solo stream from last week. Was that on your Twitch or on YouTube?
Both.
Okay, cool. Very good.
And I did PGA ownership if anyone's playing PGA tomorrow.
There you go. FF Doom says, thanks for the alpha. Willis says, thanks for the awesome show. We appreciate you guys. Good luck in your brackets. Go Houston, baby. The team of destiny.